we focus on underwriting loans for small to mid-sized business borrowers. We have the ability to cater to that, to those small to mid-sized business lenders. It's much more, our process is seamless. It's quick. We're able to give that person a loan relatively quickly, as opposed to the long, lengthy process of going to a traditional bank.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, this is Max Pittman from WriteForMe, and you're listening to another episode of the Business Ninjas podcast, where we meet the business experts who are scaling their organizations. And today we're talking about Biz2Credit with Sergio Padalino, who's the Director of Talent Acquisition at Biz2Credit. Sergio, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you being here. And you're getting started out at Biz2Credit, and you've been there for just a little bit. So I'd love to understand a little bit about yourself and your role and what brought you to Biz2Credit.
Yeah, I've been in the technical recruiting space for close to 15 years, maybe more. And I started off in the agency side, primarily focusing on technical recruiting. After 9 years on the agency side, I was fortunate enough to get into the fintech industry about 2016, which was pretty much a pretty big boom at that time. I started off with a company called Enterprise Engineering, and been there for about 6 years and helped the company grow and scale pretty significantly. And I joined Biz2Credit in May, so almost a year. Tough decision, because I've been with the company for 6 years, but I really liked a lot of stuff that Biz2Credit and the Biz2X Platform was doing. If you do some research and research I've done, I honestly believe we're on the forefront, cutting edge in lending software. And I think that we're poised for continually tremendous growth for the next couple of years. So my job is I run the recruiting function here. We've seen some pretty significant growth within the company, particularly on our Biz2X software platform. We've scaled our sales team, we've scaled our UX team, our data science team, our marketing team, probably some of the most robust marketing team we have within the fintech space. And we're continually growing, we're continually hiring, and we're bringing on a lot of good people that are contributing a lot to the overall goal we're trying to do. So that's what we're doing in 2023. We're continually to bring in some really good people.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. I definitely want to talk to you a little bit more in depth about how you're growing the organization. And I know you've been there for just a little bit, and I don't want to necessarily put you on the spot, but I know I've imagined pitching ideas on Shark Tank and being the shark, maybe myself as well. So I'd love it if you can give me Biz2Credit's elevator pitch. Like, what problem does Biz2Credit solve for companies, for people?
Well, if Biz2Credit is a alternative lender, and we focus on underwriting loans for small to mid-sized business borrowers. Mm-hmm. So where some of your traditional banks may not be focusing on giving small to mid-sized business loans, we have the ability to cater to that, to those small to mid-sized business lenders. It's much more, our process is seamless. It's quick. We're able to give that person a loan relatively quickly, as opposed to the long, lengthy process of going to a traditional bank.
Gotcha. So can you tell me, I guess, a little bit, are there specific verticals that you guys focus in on? Is it pretty agnostic, or do you focus on like a size of business? I know you mentioned small to medium-sized organizations, but I'm just kind of curious if there's any segmentation for the best types of customers you work with.
It really all depends on the loan size. It's really where we're trying to focus on. Mm-hmm. when you're the larger the loan, generally it makes possibly more sense to go to a bigger lender, but it's not something it's not to say that we wouldn't process that. We could do all loans. It's just that I think we focus on a real niche market of, small to mid-sized business borrowers that are looking to, let's say someone owns a pizzeria. They want to put a new oven in, and they need financing quick, because they have to shut down their business and they have to build that thing, and then they need money fast.
Mhm.
We're able to facilitate those loans. So those are kind of the focuses that we really want to focus on: helping small to mid-sized business borrowers, getting them money quickly, efficiently, and at great rates. So I think we have a really good credibility within the market. We're constantly getting a lot of new business, a lot of referrals. We've been in business since 2007, so I think we're doing something right, so that we're continually to get more business.
Yeah, what is the origin story of the company? How did it start? Or I'm just kind of curious. Like, you guys have been around for a while. There's some brand recognition there. So, like, what is the origin story behind the organization?
Well, we started in 2007 in the alternative lending space. We've built a really good credibility throughout the years. As the market and banking has changed and going more digital, where more and more people are, doing more of their finances with their banks online as opposed to going into an actual bank, the landscape has changed. And I would probably say that landscape has changed in the past like 8 years, seriously. Probably even more like after 2015, 2016, when a lot of compliance laws were kind of loosened a little bit, and that opened up the doors for a lot of fintech companies to come in and build solutions and sell it to banks. We decided in 2019 it was about our time to get involved. And I think what really separates us from a lot of software as a service companies in the fintech space is many companies come up with an idea, they get funding, and they scale up. I think we did it a little bit more strategically. We came in with experienced players. We came in as alternative lenders. We were an alternative lender that focused that were in the business of lending, and we basically leveraged all that knowledge of being a lender and understanding some of the successes and pitfalls, and we decided to put together a technical team to create a software as a service platform, a cloud lending platform, which is now Biz2X. So now Biz2X is another part of our business that our target market is. We want to sell the technology to essentially assist lenders with their underwriting and their loan process. Without going into too much detail, because it's a pretty dynamic, I would say a pretty dynamic AI machine learning platform, which has a lot of moving parts. But what we try to do is we try to assist lenders with decision making in terms of underwriting a loan and how to help them identify, loans that are good and loans that are bad. So we're selling that technology directly to the lenders. Our target client is really anybody who lends, but I think most importantly, it's the real need for our platform is more of your smaller banks, your community banks, your regional banks, your federal credit union banks. You could take a community bank that's, say, in the middle of the Midwest that may have 10, 11 branches. And that particular, regional bank it focuses on a lot of their branches and foot traffic in garnering business. I think that, after I would say after when the pandemic hit, it really put a spotlight in focusing on cloud-based lending solutions, digital banking, because a lot of these banks, for lack of a better phrase, is they consolidated, because when no one was able to go to the bank to take a loan out and everything had to be digital, a lot of these banks suffered and they had to consolidate their branches. So now we're offering a platform where it could be fully integrated within their existing system. And that's where we're at right now. And I think that's really the focus that we want to do. We want to help these small to mid-sized banks, give them the tools and the platform that they need so they can continue serving their community.
That's great. That's really helpful background to understand like who you're working with specifically, where they might be located, who are those people that you guys need to talk to, but specifically how are also you trying to help them? Sounds like the challenges that companies were facing, you guys saw those challenges and decided to build their own platform out of it to assist them in their loan and underwriting process. So it sounds like there is a gap that the team noticed and decided to build something to help in making sure they can accelerate the underwriting and loan process. So that's really cool, giving them the tools to be successful. So what have you seen like as far as your sales team, right? You're growing out the organization. What specifically like why are customers choosing you like over the competition? I know you mentioned that you guys are an alternative lender, putting that experience together to help build this platform. Like I'm not sure what else the competition looks like out there, but what is that secret sauce that makes you guys stand out?
Well, there's a lot that our platform offers that that some of our competitors may or may not have. And I think a lot of it, what we offer is the science behind our platform, which is what we know as a lender. Being a lender and we're continually on that side. So we're continually working on the platform to make it better. It's not yet out of the box where it's one size fits all. We want to get there. However, it has taken major strides, and I think a lot of the changes that we're making to facilitate all the different types of lenders is really coming from being a lender ourselves. And I think because where we've had some accelerated growth in the past few years. I mean, we've only launched this platform in 2019, and where we are as a company in terms of our roadmap, we're in a really good space. And I think a lot of that accelerated growth really had to do with the team that we have in place collectively on Biz2X and Biz2Credit, and coming together and putting all that knowledge, that's blood, sweat, and tears into the platform. And I think that's what separates it.
For sure. Well, how would marketing Biz2X play into this? Like how do you guys think about marketing, like a strategy for educating customers in these small regional banks, these federal credit unions? Do you know how marketing is playing a role in helping you guys stand out right now?
Yeah, marketing is doing a tremendous role. We have a pretty robust marketing team. We have a team that focuses on content marketing. We have a team that focuses on software as a service marketing, which is targeting the actual clients for our platform, and they do it for a myriad of ways of how they do that. We have a marketing operations. We have a team that even focuses on performance of our marketing and our metrics. So, I mean, marketing plays a tremendous role collectively in figuring out what is going to work and what is not. How do we spend the right amount of money collectively into the right areas to get inbound business? So I think the real thing is what contributes to that is our team, the people that we have. We have a great dynamic team of people that are able to focus on all the areas of marketing to get us out there. How do we get inbound business? How do we focus money on strategy? What's the best way? Should we do commercials? Should we do YouTube infomercials? Should we is it search engine optimization? How can we get more people out there? And even when we do trade shows, marketing plays a huge factor in getting us out there as well. What trade shows that we should be focusing on? How do we present ourselves with material to attract the people, the lenders that we want?
Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, everyone's just trying to get eyeballs, right? How can we drive as many eyeballs as we can to our brand and to our organization? There's usually a few different like focuses for companies when they think about marketing. And branding, definitely one of them. SEO for sure. To make sure people can find you online. But also conversions, right? How do we get our team talking to as many people as possible? So how are you guys scaling the team, right? That's your role. That's what you're focusing on. Like, how are you scaling sales? How are you scaling the rest of these departments you're growing out?
Well, It's only been under a year, and there's been a lot of scaling already. I believe when I first started, I think, we were in a good way understaffed because we were getting really busy, particularly in sales and marketing as well. With the sales team, I believe we doubled our sales team currently right now. We have some really great salespeople that are focusing on different regions. We have a West Coast team. We have a Southeast, Southwest team, so to speak. We have we have a team that focuses on the Northeast and as well as the South. It's a big market out there in terms of clients that we haven't even reached out to yet. Every day between our sales and marketing, we're identifying a lot of new clients, and I'm talking about new business that we haven't even reached out to. So as a salesperson, it's probably really excited to get involved right now because, there's such a big area of focuses that we still haven't scaled yet. And, with recently, I think we focused on bringing in one person to really focus on our West Coast operations because, we just started pretty much from East to West. And now we're starting to do trade shows in the West. We're starting to really do trade shows down in the Southeast. And we're continually to scale the sales team currently right now. And I think sales and marketing is working really great hand in hand. And marketing has done a fantastic job in funneling leads to our sales team to keep them busy. So I think, we have some really great leaders. We have Charles Groom, who's our head of our marketing. And he's grown that marketing team. He had a vision, and I think it's really coming into play. And our sales leader is Darren Heck, who is doing an excellent job in, he's been doing a lot. He grew that business to what it is now is tremendous. And he's pretty hands-on. We brought on a lot of great guys, right? But guys and gals, but the issue that we have is that, there's got to be some ramping up to get them going. And he's done a wonderful job in getting them to where they need to be. And our marketing and our sales team is now rocking and rolling, and we're looking to grow. So it's a testament to both those individuals and how great they are in what they do.
Sounds like music to my ears when I hear there's greenfield out there for salespeople to go out and attack. Then that's music to any salesperson's ears when they hear that. So it makes sense why you guys would want to be starting to scale the team and double down on sales to ensure that you guys are able to have enough manpower to hit those target accounts and continue to get your name out there and hopefully build some more opportunities. So what is, something that you, personally, potentially, right, want to be celebrating, a year from now, Biz2Credit, or maybe there's something that, the company has been talking about, in your meetings that you guys want to be celebrating or hitting a year from now? Just kind of curious to understand what that might be for you.
Well, there's a lot. The growth that we've done is pretty tremendous. Also, because I work in HR, we've done a lot of new things in the HR department, and really focusing on the employee. That's number one I want to focus on is our employee. We want to make sure that the people that we bring in here, they want to stay here. So we've done a lot of interesting things. We've done a lot of more employee engagements, outings, great work-life balance. And I think that we're continually looking to push that through. We want people to feel like they want to come into the office because we do work a hybrid schedule, but collectively people who have been coming into the office like the camaraderie. We've been making our office a little bit less rigid with like cubicles. So we're in the process of now creating kind of open spaces where people can kind of go and sit wherever they want and not have to be, strapped to like a cubicle. But I think the biggest thing, in my opinion, that I think that where I think we want to be celebrating is our chief product officer, Aaron Traub, has done a significant job in getting the platform to where it needs to be. Since he came on board from JP Morgan, he's pretty much revolutionized the platform from what it is to what it is now. It has done a 180. And the amount of features that it does and how it's able to cater to all the lenders' needs, I think is a big accomplishment. And I think where we're going to be soon is, we eventually are looking to, our last stage of the roadmap is we eventually want to assist the lenders in the full automation process of the underwriting. So we want to be able to roll out this new tool relatively soon. And I think once that, we're probably looking to get that done within the year. I think that once we get that done, it's going to change how lending is done, and I think it's going to catapult our company to new heights. It's going to be able to help the existing clients that we have right now in making the features better, right, as it already is, as well as being more of an attraction for new clients. Because essentially that's what banks want. They want something that can ease their underwriting team, how they can make it more seamless for them. And I think we're almost there. And once we're there, I think that's going to be a big celebration for us.
Very cool. Yeah, it sounds like there's been some really impactful hiring going on at the C-suite level, and also even sounds like some strategic partnerships to really change how lending is done. And sounds honestly like a really exciting time to be with the organization. And as we kind of wrap things up here, is there anything else that you'd like to share? Anything that you think our listeners need to know about the organization that we haven't covered yet? Just want to at least kind of give you the floor and give you an opportunity to make sure that we get that out there.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of with me is we are growing certain parts of our business. I'd like to still continue to talk with anyone that would be interested in exploring some of the opportunities that we have, with our company. I'd be more than happy to speak to anyone who is in a sales role. I'd like to see people who are in a software as a service sales role that would be interested in possibly exploring some of the opportunities we have in sales. We are growing our UX team and product teams, and we would love to talk to some more UX people, some more product people. So anyone in those spaces that are interested, even data science is always a need for us. We would love to speak to more people that are in those positions as well. And I'd be more than happy to discuss more details. But I think we're doing a lot of big things. I think most importantly, if you do any research about us, you would see that a lot of the research about us and about our platform and what we're doing in the industry is making some big waves. I mean, just look at some of the information that we did during the pandemic for the PPP loan forgiveness. We did $8 billion in underwriting, roughly, and we helped a lot of small to mid-sized business borrowers. So I think most importantly, what I really like about the company is, what we are doing, and what we're doing is really servicing, the small business owners. We're able to get them funding, and we're able to help them when they need to get money in need. And I think Biz2Credit is doing a fantastic job, and we're continuing to forge forward. And I think our platform, now we're trying to segue into a business of selling that technology to banks. I think that it'll offer within the future a lot of more opportunities for small to mid-sized business borrowers to get loans much more quickly, much more efficiently. And I think that's where the market is going.
It's a fact. I mean, you guys do something really meaningful, something that every company needs, right? Every company needs some funding, especially when you need it quickly. That's even more impactful when you guys really come in to help that out from a timing perspective. So I can see that this is something that like I could definitely get behind. And it's good to hear what you guys are hiring for as well. And where can people find you? I know you mentioned there's some trade shows, maybe some events or conferences you're going to be at? Where can people find you specifically, Sergio, and also, where are you guys going to be in the future?
We just had a conference in Orlando. We have a few others that we're looking at, but we're just kind of strategically looking where we want to be. It's going to be better use for us to focus, to get the clients that we're looking to target and people we want to speak to. But if you want to get some more information about our platform, you can visit www.biz2x.com or Biz2Credit.com as well. So you can see both sides of our businesses, our lending side and our software as a service platform. So
love it. That's great. And I'm assuming any future hires, potentially people who are listening to this thinking about, maybe this is a place for me to end up. What's the best place for them to get hold of you as well?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's Sergio Padalino, Padalino, or you can email me at sergio.padalino, Padalino, at biz2x.com.
Perfect. Yeah, hopefully there's some listeners out there who are in the job market and thought that this was interesting, and this sounded like a good place for them to potentially end up at and land. So I'm glad you could do that and share that with everybody. And I appreciate your time here, Sergio. I really enjoyed the conversation. I feel like I've learned a lot about you and Biz2Credit, and I really appreciate you being here, part of the Business Ninjas podcast.
I'm honored to be on here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Enjoy the rest of your day, Sergio. Thanks everyone for listening, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you all.